You can win. You've got the skill. You've got the voice, the mind, the look, the presence. You've got the drive, the ambition, the passion. You can move through a room like you belong there, because you do. You've got that thing that makes people listen when you speak. The kind of energy that draws attention, that fills the space with authority. You were built to conquer, to break through, to rise. You can win the contract, win the stage, win the crowd, win the game, win in business, win in leadership, win in the arena of life. And yet, if you walk into all of that success without the one who made you, you didn't really win. Because success without God is just noise, it's an echo that fades, it's a hollow crown. You might get to the top, you might even stay there for a while, you might have people cheering your name and counting your victories. But what does it all mean if you lose the very thing that anchors you? If you climb to the top of the world and find out it's empty up there, what did you win? Because the lights can't fill the void in your heart. The followers can't replace peace in your mind. The money can't patch the cracks in your soul. The world may call it success, but heaven doesn't always agree. The world will applaud your rise, but only God will sustain it. Only He can give you the kind of win that doesn't drain you, break you, or twist you into someone you were never meant to be. Sometimes we confuse movement with progress. Just because something's working doesn't mean it's blessed. Just because you're winning in the eyes of people doesn't mean you're aligned in the eyes of God. You can have momentum and still be headed in the wrong direction. You can have influence but no integrity. You can gain recognition and still lose revelation. You can gain followers and still miss your assignment, because there's a difference between being successful and being purposeful. There's a difference between being known and being sent. Don't confuse the crowd for confirmation. Don't confuse applause for anointing. You weren't built to carry success alone. You weren't designed to win and then forget who gave you the ability to win in the first place. Everything that's on your life, every gift, every opportunity, every connection. It's not random. It's not just luck. You didn't get here on your own. Somewhere in the journey, the hand of God was guiding you, shielding you, protecting you from what you didn't even know was coming. When people were plotting, He was positioning. When you were doubting, He was preparing. When you were ready to quit, He was speaking life over you. Don't step into the blessing and forget the one who blessed you. The world will try to convince you to leave Him out of the plan. They'll say faith is weakness, that it slows you down, that it limits your options. But here's the truth. Faith doesn't slow you down, it secures your steps. It doesn't limit your options, it protects your destiny, because not every open door is an opportunity. Some open doors are traps. Some platforms are set-ups, some stages are snares, and only God can show you the difference. Only He can give you the discernment to know when to move, when to wait, when to speak, when to be silent, when to stay, and when to walk away. Don't let the pressure to perform push you into purposeless pursuits. Don't let the need to be seen cost you the quiet strength that only comes from intimacy with God. Because you can get out there, you can shine, you can dominate, but if you left Him behind, you'll look successful, but feel empty. You'll have the picture, but not the peace. You'll have the crowd, but not the clarity. You'll be full of movement, but lacking meaning. And that's the tragedy, when you win everything on the outside, but lose everything on the inside. You ever meet someone who's got it all but still feels lost? They've got the house, the title, the fame, the fortune, but they're chasing peace like it's just out of reach. That's because they won without Him. They built a kingdom but forgot the king. They chased the dream but left behind the one who gave the dream. And now it's all on them. All the pressure, all the expectation, all the maintenance. When you build it without Him, you carry the weight. But when you build it with Him, He carries the foundation. That's why people burn out. That's why they lose themselves, because they were never meant to win like that. They were never meant to build platforms on their own pride. They were never meant to construct lives without prayer. That's why you see people with everything, celebrity, wealth, admiration, crumbling behind closed doors because they won without him, and now their success is a burden. It's not a blessing, it's not freedom, it's a trap. But it doesn't have to be that way, because when you win with him, there's grace, there's covering, there's stability. You don't have to pretend, you don't have to perform. You don't have to compromise. You don't have to trade your soul for a seat at the table, because God will build a table just for you, a place where you can be fully who he made you to be, a place where you don't have to bow to culture or fit into boxes. A place where you don't have to lose yourself to find success. You don't need to chase validation when you're already chosen. You don't need to hustle for worth when your identity is already secure. You don't need to bend your values to fit into spaces where God never sent you. If the opportunity requires you to forget who you are, it's not an opportunity. It's a distraction, and every distraction comes with a cost. It'll cost you your time. It'll cost you your peace. It'll cost you your purpose. And slowly, you'll wake up in a life that looks good on the outside but feels foreign on the inside. Winning without him will take you places your character isn't ready for. It'll elevate your platform before your soul is prepared. And when the storms come, and they always come, you won't have roots deep enough to stand, but when you win with him, your roots are planted. Your character grows before your platform expands. Your foundation is built before the spotlight hits. And that's what keeps you, that's what sustains you, that's what protects you from being blown away by the applause or destroyed by the criticism. Because the higher you go, the more you need him. The more you achieve, the more you need his wisdom. The more people you impact, the more you need his strength. Without him, success becomes dangerous. It feeds your ego instead of your spirit. It inflates your pride instead of increasing your purpose. And that's the kind of success that destroys people, not all at once, but slowly, quietly, silently. It erodes your convictions, it weakens your foundation, and before you know it, you're standing on a platform that can't hold the weight of your calling. That's why the secret is staying anchored. Stay rooted. Stay close. Don't move without him. Don't sign without him. Don't launch without him. Don't run without him. Because when he's in it, there's favor. When he's in it, there's peace. When he's in it, there's provision. You won't have to force it. You won't have to manipulate it. You won't have to pretend to be someone you're not. You can show up in truth, in humility, in boldness. Because you know it's not about you. It's about him working through you. So many people are trying to build legacies without foundations, trying to make impact without intimacy, trying to be great without grace, but it never works. You might get there, but you won't stay. You might shine for a moment, but you won't last, because only God can give you the kind of win that carries weight in eternity. Only he can make your influence eternal. Only he can multiply your seed and sustain your harvest. So be careful what kind of win you're chasing. Be mindful of what you're building. Be intentional about who you're becoming, because if you win without him, it's not really a win. It's just noise. It's just a moment. It's just applause that fades. But if you walk with him, if you trust him, if you let him lead, you won't just win. You'll leave a legacy. You'll rise with purpose. You'll succeed with peace. You'll shine with substance. And that's a win worth having. That's a win that counts. There's a point in your life when you've got to stop trying to impress the world and start aligning with heaven. Because no matter how much you win in this life, it won't matter if you stand before God and realize you left him out of the story. You can build the brand, you can own the house, you can become the CEO, but if you didn't walk with him, if you didn't know his voice, if you didn't obey his instructions, then the win was temporary. It was surface. It looked good, but it had no eternal weight, And that's what matters in the end. Not just what you did, but who you became while doing it. You don't want to be the person who climbs the ladder only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. You don't want to reach the top and find yourself empty. You don't want to win in public and be crushed in private. That's what happens when you chase results but ignore the process. That's what happens when you make plans without prayer. That's what happens when you trust your own gift more than you trust God's guidance. Because without Him, your gift can take you places your spirit isn't strong enough to survive. The danger isn't in the dream. The danger is in pursuing the dream without discernment, without covering, without seeking His presence. It's not that God doesn't want you to win. He does. It's that He wants you to win the right way. He wants you to win with character. He wants you to win with peace. He wants you to win with joy that doesn't disappear the moment the camera's off or the crowd is gone. Because the enemy doesn't care how much money you have if your soul is bankrupt. He doesn't care how many followers you gain if you're losing yourself in the process. There are people out there who are winning big on the outside, but spiritually they're exhausted. They've been performing for so long they don't know how to rest. They've been grinding for so long they've lost their gratitude. They've been so busy trying to make it that they've forgotten who they are, and that's why the win doesn't satisfy them. That's why the success doesn't fill them. Because they ran ahead of God, they went after a version of success that never included Him, and now it's empty, now it's heavy, now it's lonely, because you weren't created to carry the blessing without the blesser. What's the point of having the world at your feet if your soul is in pieces? What's the point of getting the applause if you have to fake your way through it? What's the point of standing in front of the crowd if you're crumbling behind closed doors? That's not winning. That's surviving in disguise. That's not legacy. That's illusion. Real winning doesn't destroy you. It strengthens you. Real winning doesn't steal your identity. It reveals your purpose. And only God can lead you into that kind of victory. You've got to be brave enough to walk away from any win that costs you your peace. You've got to be wise enough to recognize when something looks like a blessing, but it's really a burden. You've got to be bold enough to say no to opportunities that don't have God's fingerprint on them, because every door that opens isn't from Him. Every platform that presents itself isn't His will. Sometimes the enemy will open doors too, hoping you'll be so desperate to win that you'll forget to ask God if you should even walk through it. Don't let ambition make you forget your assignment. Don't let hunger for success make you forget to hunger for righteousness. Because true success is when your assignment and your anointing align. True success is when your wins don't cost you your worship. It's when your destiny doesn't disconnect you from your source. It's when your blessing doesn't become a burden because you invited God into every step of the journey. There's something powerful about a person who knows they can win, but chooses to wait until God says it's time. There's something dangerous about a person who has the talent to take the stage, but chooses to stay hidden until God says go. That kind of patience is powerful. That kind of obedience is rare, because it means you trust God more than you trust your own timeline. It means you'd rather succeed with Him later than succeed without Him now. It means you're more committed to His process than you are to your promotion. You've got to be grounded in that kind of faith, the kind that says, if God isn't in it, I don't want it. The kind that says, I'd rather be overlooked with Him than celebrated without Him, because when He opens the door, no one can shut it. When He lifts you, no one can bring you down. When He promotes you, it's permanent, it's protected, it's powerful. That's why you've got to stay connected. You've got to stay in prayer. You've got to stay in the Word. You've got to keep your ears open and your heart humble. The world is loud. It'll shout at you to hurry up, to make it happen, to do whatever it takes, but God whispers, and if you're not careful, you'll miss the whisper trying to chase the noise. You'll be so caught up in the grind that you'll miss the grace, so focused on results that you'll miss revelation, and the thing about God is, He doesn't shout over your distractions, He waits for your attention. He waits for your surrender. He waits for you to slow down long enough to hear what He's been trying to say all along. There's nothing wrong with wanting to win, but you've got to want Him more. You've got to want His presence more than the platform. You've got to want His approval more than the applause, because at the end of the day, it's His well done. That matters most, not theirs, not the critics, not the fans, His, and that means you've got to live differently. You've got to build differently, you've got to move differently, you've got to carry your calling with care, not arrogance, with reverence, not entitlement. God doesn't just want to bless your hustle. He wants to direct it. He wants to align it with His will, because when your hustle becomes holy, it becomes effective. When your work is led by worship, it becomes fruitful. And when your ambition is filtered through obedience, it becomes purpose. That's the win that changes lives. That's the win that brings glory to God. That's the win that sets you apart, because it's not about getting ahead of everyone else. It's about staying in step with Him. When you win with God, it doesn't always look like the world's version of success. Sometimes it looks like saying no when everyone else is saying yes. Sometimes it looks like walking away when the spotlight is the brightest. Sometimes it looks like serving when you could be seen, but every time it leads to real peace, real joy, real legacy, because you weren't just chasing your own goals. You were following divine instructions. You were walking in alignment. You were building with the master architect, and He doesn't just want you to win for you. He wants you to win so you can lift others. He wants you to win so you can shine light in dark places. He wants you to win so your testimony can become someone else's hope. That's why you can't afford to win without Him, because the people you're called to impact, they need the real you, the whole you, the God-backed, Spirit-filled, purpose-driven you, not the version of you that's worn out from trying to carry it all alone, not the version of you that's distracted by fame or addicted to applause. They need to see that winning God's way is possible. They need to see that success doesn't have to come at the cost of your soul. They need to see that you can be powerful and prayerful, that you can be excellent and humble, that you can be bold and broken, and still be used mightily. Because the win isn't just for you. It's for those watching you. It's for the generation behind you. It's for the kingdom in front of you. So stay grounded. Stay focused. Don't let the winds make you forget the weight of your calling. Don't let the applause become louder than His voice. Don't let the opportunities distract you from your obedience, because every win without Him is temporary. Every victory without Him is unstable. But every step with Him is ordered. Every moment with Him is secure. Every battle with Him is already won. If you've been winning without Him, it's not too late to turn around. It's not too late to invite Him back into the plan. It's not too late to surrender your ambition and let Him reshape it. Because He's not just the God of beginnings, He's the God of new beginnings. He can take what you built in your strength and rebuild it in His glory. He can take your success and make it sacred. He can take your platform and make it prophetic. Don't settle for winning without peace. Don't trade your soul for success. Don't run so far ahead that you forget the one who called you in the first place. Because when you walk with Him, you don't just win, you win well. You win with joy, you win with integrity, you win with legacy, you win with your hands clean and your heart full, you win knowing that it wasn't just your grind, it was His grace, it wasn't just your talent, it was His timing, it wasn't just your idea, it was His vision all along, and that kind of win, that's a win no one can take from you, that's a win that echoes into eternity, so hear this now. Don't just aim to win. Aim to win with him. Let your story be one that heaven can endorse. Let your journey be marked by obedience, not just outcomes. Because when the dust settles, and the lights fade, and the noise dies down, what will matter is not how high you climbed, but who you walked with. Not how many people clapped, but how many lives were changed because you carried his presence with you. Victory without God is a shadow, but victory with him, that's substance, that's purpose, that's legacy. So don't win without him, don't move without him, don't build without him. Let him go before you, let him walk beside you, and let him get the glory behind you. Because when you win with him, you never lose.